from the Azir and even later on the Aphelios, so it can be tough as Kindred if you don't find the marks, if you don't find that snowball to actually deal damage in this game. At the same time, if you get those, you know, we'll feel quite good about it. Looks like we have the first strike coming in from Mission, so playing instead for a bit more scaling. And I think I like it versus sort of comp. Needs to be very strong in team fights here to be able to deal with, you know, the very beefy Cassante. And pretty standard now from the Aphelios, has gone for the overheal as well as the absolute focus, gathering Storm in the scaling. No Ghost taken by Cassante, which is sort of weird. I feel like this is actually a pretty good Ghost game rather than Flash. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, maybe thinking Flash can give him more opportunity to isolate this Aphelios as the game gets a bit later. Definitely, I mean, one angle to look at it, but we have sort of seen Ghost and Flash being picked by this champion, and I think both of them see reasonably similar success. But it looks like bot lane here for Beyond, Feng and Kino will be getting prio, and you do expect that on this Zyra Khan. Atlan has to be really careful. Will get engaged on. Feng hitting from the back, getting a lot of damage onto Atlan.
Yeah, Atlan is going to be able to sustain this back up though. I think it's still a nice start. You're not really worried about the Ignite. You can just put it on cooldown very early in the lane, kind of establish yourself a little bit of control. And with that Doran's Blade and the red gun. Ooh,
the W lands again. Feng will use W, so Kino getting a lot of damage onto Atlan already in this early game. And although you have that red gun, the sustain is so little when you don't have much AD nowadays.
I wonder, can anything be set up on bot side with that health chunk? Feels like Kindred early ganking isn't great, but the mark is put onto Atlan. So it's possible. Like, normally you need really guaranteed setup to make something work as a Kindred, you know, extremely early. But here, has the bot priority as well as the Rise mid. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kongwei just enter the bot side jungle rather than pathing to top side, try and fight Alex. Looks like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Alex is in that quadrant of the jungle too, though, and in the early 1v1, I guess it's pretty similar. There's a lot up to skill between these junglers, because if you can sort of dodge out that mark...
Yeah, looking for something mid.
Yeah, 116 getting poked quite low. Kongwei is coming in. Won't quite use that slow, but Alex, has he found his way in unseen? Or he has seen on a ward there. The zombie ward will catch him out.
Okay, and so Kongwei is actually going to defend rather than going up to the top side. 116 is forced to base though. I mean, he's playing very aggressive. I mean, knows, I guess, the mission isn't the best in the 2v2.
Yeah, Kongwei coming in. Alex will dodge out as the bot lane from BYG were headed up too. Now, importantly, Mark is on this bottom side scuttle, so first Mark will be picked up now for Kindred. I believe it's 4 is the threshold to pick up that extra range for the beginning. And
top lane is... Her Likai actually stops, or doesn't quite stop it. He's going to take a lot of damage on the way out, but looks like he's forced... Oh,
it does land the knock-up. Does have to be careful here, you feel, though. He doesn't have any support from his team just yet, as Kongwei does enter that side of the river, but disengage will come.
Kongwei instead going to go back to his own camps here. I think Mission being able to push 1116 out of this lane early did mean that Kongwei couldn't enter that bot side jungle. So very nice from them. And the CS lead, though, is, for mid lane, at least in the way of 1116. Kind of expected just because Rise is much easier CSing early. Mission probably can clean at least a little bit of that back after he picks up this wave. But so far, everything else remains sort of even.
So we are just in a pause now. Beyond Gaming having a sound issue. Hopefully we'll get back in there, but how do you think, like, where do you think these teams sort of spike in the game? What do you think Impunity's main chances here, or on the other side, Beyond Gaming? Where do you think these teams really look towards? Is it Dragons, early Dragons, perhaps giving away a few of them and then focusing on late, or?
I think for the side of Beyond, like, being able to pressure the map with the Rise and Kindred early is pretty important. I think while you can't really, like, make anything really big happen, I think stuff like invading buffs, you know, securing dragons should be the kind of thing you look at as we head back into the game here. And then on the other side from Impunity, I think just trying to hit that one item spike and then really look to fight. Flash comes through.
Yeah, Atlan getting really low here. He doesn't have Flash to get away. Will just survive, but that's massive, I believe. Now Atlan will have to base, lose quite a fairly substantial minion wave here, and a huge benefit for BYG.
I wonder, does that mean Kongyue can actually come down and perhaps invade that Gromp? Look for the mark. I kind of don't think so because Beyond Gaming, I think, still have to base on bot lane. Although maybe can stay. We'll see what they go for here. It looks like they'll probably reset. Would definitely be better for their lane. And yeah, Kongyue resets as well. So it doesn't look like there'll be anything they can do here. Reset is coming out from Feng. Keenan will match up as well. So they'll get out of there.
Nature doing his best to see us under tower, but not the easiest job as a Thresh. But more importantly, that was like a 10 or so minion wave Atlan loses. So both XP and gold lost for that Aphelios.
Definitely a pretty nice pickup. 116 does not have the TP and is getting chunked pretty low. Hopefully he can pick up the Catalyst on his next base, because otherwise it's going to start finding this mid matchup not going the way he wants. Might even need Kino to come here and maybe alleviate a little bit of pressure, as both mids just hit level 6 here. Sweeper does come out. This is going to make it a bit harder for Mission to pressure, but Azir very safe from a lot of ganks anyway. Actually entering the river, I think 116 does have to recall. If he doesn't have the Catalyst, then I think Mission's lane is still in a very, very good spot. If he has it though, then he'll... Okay, so he does have it and is going to be able to start pressuring the map pretty heavily.
Yeah, and Atlan pushing in here, so should be fine to do that, although both junglers on the bottom side. Who do you think will have sort of this priority towards Dragon? I feel like Wukong early might fare a little bit better than the Kindred, so that might be one thing, although the bot lane of Beyond will have more impact as well. So I feel like the skirmish is quite even in reality.
Yeah, I think I would probably favor BYG just because like it feels like they should have priority from mid and then the Realm Warp as well, just to kind of get things started a bit earlier. But I think you're right, it is pretty close and most likely just won't see a whole lot happen. It's kind of people just trade back and forth. Although BYG, they're trying to get aggressive. Will they just start up the Dragon? They will. So using this bot priority, looks like they're bringing 1116 here. No, okay, so he's actually going back to his mid wave. Has to be a little careful of a gank while they're on drag, but looks like it will just be picked up.
Yeah, and importantly, nothing to trade. Riftfield not up for another 50 seconds, so just a free Dragon going to the side of BYG, and good use of the lead bot lane.
Yeah, when that lead translates into more than just CS, that's really when you kind of start to feel the bot gap. And while it isn't substantial, Impunity is still going to scale well. Having that first Dragon taken very early into the game sets you up for a nice drag win condition if you want.
Yes, Shurima Shuffle into the Emperor's Divide. BYG 116 is very low. He does have Phase Rush to get away. Flash and Phase Rush committed. Lakai also here to try and prevent Driver from getting in. Will do it, but Driver flash forward lands the slow. First Blood over to Alex. Well played there.
So 1116 did not have the Realm Warp, which is why he found it so hard to get out there. And actually used his flash and ended up dying. So there's always a chance of a repeat gank. It is the kill, the first blood that goes over to Alex on the Wukong. So perhaps would have been better on Mission, but it's a nice pickup. Flash comes out.
Yeah, doesn't land the follow-up hook. Does get the root from Atlan, but loses the majority of his health there to the feathers. And you got to like this bot lane so far from Beyond. They're really pushing their advantage, and Atlan's finding it hard to walk up anywhere near his minions.
Feng and Kino kind of just bullying out Atlan and Nature here. Looks like Kongyue on the minimap is starting up the Herald. And I don't think there will be any contest for this. So the one downside of using those ults mid is that Herald will be given over. Currently though, there isn't a great spot to use it. Maybe bot if you can continue to bully.
The charm does land on Nature. Nature looks like he will be going down. Atlan tries to trade away some damage, but nothing to come of it. And so we didn't see how that started, but it looks like just an alt W from Kino will land onto Nature and find the kill. Really
nice kill there. And he doesn't have flash, so can very easily die again. And that bot tower is starting to take a bit of damage. I think Kongyue will definitely look to path down there to see how this happens. So Nature does not have the flash. And I'm assuming, okay, the hook hits on the Fang who has the cleanse. Did use it very early, and then, yeah, pretty much just Nature died straight afterwards. So much damage coming out from the Zyra Khan lane, which is really starting to kind of return into the meta in full force.
Yeah, and a little scuffle up top, but no real damage to talk about just yet. Lakai dodges away from that Devastating smash.
Impunity trying to do what they can to slow down Kongyue entering bot side and just dropping the Herald on their tower. They take a little bit of bot side jungle and river control, and they have missions pushed, so it's not super easy for Kongyue to just run straight bot and drop it without losing a lot. At the same time, I mean, bot already took a lot of damage. No flash on nature, can easily be reganked. 1116 as well has to respect the fact that he does not have flash, so not being able to get active on the map here as the Rise. But doesn't matter.
Yeah, Streamer Shuffle lands again, and 1116 will be low. Cyclone does cancel the Realm Warp, so a kill over to Mission, and 11116 really getting sort of exposed for not having that flash.
It is very difficult to avoid that Azir ganks it up. But there is at least some sort of trade here that can come out of BYG. They're going to try set up for something bot. Kongyue showing in the lane. We'll perhaps just try and siege at least some of this tower down. Mission though, this game's looking like it could be on him. Azir's been banned against him so many times for a reason. Bang and Kongyue both clean up their gold, which is gold, you know, right where you kind of need it here.
Yeah, looking to get aggressive on this blue buff. Alex is in the area, and Atlan's gun's not too bad, although the sniper gun will be fading in just a couple of auto attacks, or even this Q. But there we do have even better guns now. No ult, importantly, on Alex. Quickness used, and Kongyue is really in there. Will find the kill on Alex. Getting a little bit low, though, but Mission doesn't seem like he's able to move from his lane for this, so kill and blue buff will go over to the side of Beyond.
It's definitely a nice pickup here for Beyond. The gold difference, I mean, it remains very, very close, swinging back and forth. But these camps picked up, as well as the gold going onto both the BYG carries, is really, really good. They might even look for something more bot, though they are on a ward. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to try and secure the free reset before this dragon spawns. Try and keep that stacking up. One thing I think we should keep an eye on, though, is Mission has a Liandry's so much earlier than 116 even has, you know, an inkling of a Rod of Ages. So perhaps can pick up the Rod of Ages now. See if he gets it. Here's resetting. I assume he has it. Yes, okay, so has the Rod of Ages. 12 minutes, not the worst timing, but still needs a while to scale up. And normally, you're expecting it to come through before the Liandry's, given that it's 400 gold cheaper. But Mission is going to be so strong in this fight. Not fully scaled yet, though. And I think fights should still go the way of BYG, at least for now. They want to set up the second dragon. Will Impunity contest? Doesn't feel like it. But they're in the area. Maybe instead just look to make a repeat play on mid. Kongyue is starting this up, and Alex is nowhere to be seen. So this should be going over. I think you don't mind this too much as Impunity. Still obviously have a very strong 5v5 team fight later on. Want to perhaps have Atlan hit that one item spike before you fight this too heavily. Does go over though. I mean, 2 drags here at only 1250. If BYG can keep stacking that up, you know, Dragon Soul very early in the game could be on the table.
Yeah, you're definitely correct there. And Kindred now at 3 marks, so 1 off that range increase, which is really important sort of when you come towards this 5v5 stage as BYG looks, well, sorry, 1116 looks towards Azir, but this tower's getting so low and it's all just off Mission hitting it. So really Mission finding a lot of room for himself and ultimately a lot of gold. And as you said earlier, it feels like this game's kind of on him to at least get through the mid game to where Atlan gets some of those Aphelios items and really scales up. But Kongyue coming in from top side here. Mission has to be careful, but we'll spot him out on that pink.
Yeah, has people in the area, so should be fine. Is really making that 1v1 matchup hurt, though, for 1116. Ooh,
yeah.
Flash comes out.
Quickness is used. Can he get Emperor's Divide? It will miss, and that's a massive lump of gold for Kongyue.
Yeah, another really nice pickup, and I think that's very, very important. 2-0 on this Kindred that needs to snowball. Mission, it's a really hard engage to respect, right? The Flash Rakan engage is one of the strongest in the game, but does end up going down. At least it won't be anything more taken off the back of it, but Kongyue, he's really looking like he can carry this game here for BYG.
Yeah, and Kino really finding all of these early advantages for his team. He's got 100% kill participation. He's found a lot bot with his Rakan play, and then he found Mission in mid, so taking Mission off the map and getting such a big lead bot, you have to really look to him and be quite impressed.
Mission, I can kind of understand why he walked up to this, but ultimately his support is showing, or is about to show bot, and Kino is still off the map. So he does end up going down. It's pretty difficult to read though. Obviously very strong engage. You can see he's a bit frustrated after that one. This type of support gap. And all chat, it's fine. Looks like Herald is up though, and will be picked up here by Impunity. No contest. Oh, Kongwei actually, he's entering the river. Maybe a late contest.
Yeah, it does have Lamb's Respite to give a bit of safety. Actually, Shirali is used here. Doesn't quite have quickness available just yet. Nature rooted up. He will be going down. What else can they find here? Doesn't look like anything for now, but managing to find that pick onto Nature without even needing Rakan ult is quite huge, because you're a lot more dangerous now as Driver heads to try and get this eye. Oh my goodness, that is terrible.
I should have flashed for him, maybe. Probably not worth it. I think the Herald at this point doesn't do a whole lot anyway. I guess it would secure you that mid tower, but it probably will go down later anyway. Now, gold is still, again, relatively close for this next dragon, but I think the gold just being so accelerated on Kongwei's Kindred means he's in a very good spot to actually carry this. Mission still remains very strong, though. Certainly going to outperform the Rise in this third dragon team fight. And I think Impunity, they're not normally the ones that look to give a third dragon and try to scale even more. But Alan still doesn't have his mythic. 16 minutes in the game. I think it has it now off this recall, but it's very, very late.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this lane assignment as well from BYG. It feels like Driver's going to have a better time against Rise than Lakai has against Mission.
I think you kind of just have to keep Lakai bot side because he doesn't have TP, so you can't really afford to send him top at this point. Just need him grouped for what is, you know, a very important third drag.
I'm going to bot now to defend this tower from Mission as we see Atlan gaining some very much needed CS in the mid lane.
Lakai? Yeah, weird lane assignments again. I think Rise should be top. Otherwise, Lakai will end up being topside without TP. I mean, maybe strong enough that they can just secure the drag in the 4v4. Certainly possible, right? Kongwei is extremely strong here. Did he get his 4th mark, or is he still on 3?
I can't remember, but about that sort of dragon fight, Sion has a lot easier a time to get there, however, with that unstoppable force, can just sort of drive it down. Excuse the pun.
Yeah, I wonder if he's reset, so it looks like he will just be pathing out here. Impunity, they're pretty committed to this. Lakai as well is just pathing down the map. BYG, they have the control and arguably the stronger items at this point. I think it really comes down to, can Mission and Driver do enough in this fight to kind of make up for the item deficits? Ooh, Nature has to be careful. Can very easily get picked. And the side of Impunity is very split. It's very hard to regain this control when you are so split. At the same time, BYG are losing minions on bot wave. Driver's probably the only safe member to actually face check things.
It's okay for now. Lakai finding Alex, but will receive the Lantern. And that Lantern is big because it removes a lot of safety from this Aphelios. Does have Flash. Dragon started now by BYG as Mission pokes from the side.
BYG, I mean, I'm not liking their position that much. I think they could have kept people out. Instead of Impunity, they're starting to find a way back into this river. I think BYG should still win the fight, given their head, but Mission, he's finding the value he needs.
Yeah, Mission on this side, really finding a lot of health as Rooted Up does get Driver. He is okay, here's the Scion. Flash engage onto Alex. He will get away just at the end there. Low health bars for the side of BYG as Mission's finding so much damage onto the bat line. Atlan's still full health. Doesn't have the greatest guns for this, but that teamfight ultimate for the Moonlight Vigil can do a lot. Feng Hooked will use the cleanse now.
Oh, very, very low.
Yeah, Driver looks like he might go down, but he'll just go into passive as Lakai will go down to Nature. Alex jumping over to this dragon. It's now a 4v5, but low health bars across the board. Driver extremely low. Realm Warp coming in. What will happen here? They are going to take it as Atlan will find Feng. We also seen Atlan now find Kino. Ran out Lamb's Respite used, but Nature's hook will land, and Kongwei is not long for this world as well. Atlan finds another one. Can we stop this recall? No, it does not look like we can, as 1116 will escape just barely.
That fight was so close, but I think Impunity got what they wanted. They get that dragon and slow down this kind of drag win condition. They also get Atlan well and truly back into this game, now 2-0. And while the health bars were really low, I think Impunity actually just outplayed them in this fight. It feels like they found the damage that they needed, and they've also managed to disengage away from BYG. Credit to 116, who found a lot of damage as the Rise kind of in the back end here, but Feng is so low and can't really DPS. Take a look at all this like Rise bounce that comes out though. Just a lot of damage that kind of comes through when they're all stacked up here. I mean, look at that. Huge damage that goes out all 5 members. Mission had already done so much, and Atlan's still full HP. Kind of weird by BYG to try and re-engage, because Atlan is full HP and you have nothing left. Even if you kill Driver, where is your damage for Atlan after? People have to stop ignoring the carries. Atlan just cleans everything up. Also, really nice flash hook here from Nature. Just barely grabs Kongyue at the end. Pick up a shutdown onto him, I believe. Yeah, it is a shutdown. It goes the way of Atlan again. And BYG, that's a fight I think they should have won, but slightly misexecuted. Gives Impunity a way back into the game.
Yeah, we didn't see damage done there, but I have to feel like even though Atlan's sort of picking up some of those kills, Mission really was sort of the key person to get them across that, right? Like he was finding so much poke early on in that. Now, where do you go from here? Do you just sort of stall out for the next 3 minutes, wait for that next dragon, or do we look towards Baron control and heading there? Because it feels like even now, without Mythic even completed, although as I say it, Radiant Virtue is completed on Driver, that guy can just tank forever.
He is very, very strong. I think you're playing for second item on Atlan here. He can't be too far away. And I think you don't want to fight into this Navori Xayah. That seems like too strong a spike to try and fight into. I think you honestly, yeah, just try farm for a couple more minutes. Once you get that second item on Atlan, you can look to hard contest. Although Feng, he has no sums. He's being looked at on these mid waves. Obviously still has a lot of safety, but has to respect that.
Yeah, 2 items on Mission importantly too, and as we sort of touched on before the game, look at that player gold actually. He's well ahead of most people, although Feng is really steady in this game, but other than that, it looks like Impunity are really in control for the little bit.
Yeah, Feng's still ahead of Atlan after what was an amazing laning phase for them, but the gold has largely been caught up, right? It's only down like a couple hundred now. So ADC's, after what was such a good early game for Feng, just go back to being even. But like you said, gold well and truly in Mission's favor. And is only going to get stronger in these team fights compared to the Rise. Ooh, Baron has started up. They have a lot of DPS just with the 2-man.
Yeah.
I think Impunity, this might just end up going over. They have no clue this is happening.
Yeah, we are looking for a fight here mid though, so maybe it is disengaged from, but as people head towards this Baron, maybe Impunity suspects something. It is scrying orb to find out. Alex, nice dodge, but will get charmed up, and Baron will be going over to the side of Beyond, but what can they get with it?
Ooh.
Oh, Decimating Smash will not find them. 1116 running for his life up here. Can Mission get enough done? There is 3 people stuck at this tower. Emperor's Divide is good. Driver tanking the tower for his team as Lantern comes to save Mission. All out goes Lakai, and Feng hooked as well. Lakai will get out, so it looks like no one will go down, and these Barons will be picked up, but fantastic macro on the side of Beyond.
It's a nice pickup there, but I wonder if it's actually worth it overall. I mean, getting the Baron off the map does feel good. I think they're up a slight amount of gold, but it still was, I think, a kill picked up by Atlan here, as well as like a lot of mid waves lost in the meantime. So now Atlan actually pulls ahead of Feng in gold. It really will come down to what can you get done with this Baron. Currently sitting at plus 400 gold off the Baron. So far it's pretty neutral. They have to get more towers off it for it to really be, you know, better than just kind of the Baron picked up, taken off the map. Third Dragon is spawning soon though, and I think both teams very competitive. Atlan has the IE now.
Mission finding a lot of damage there onto both Lakai and Feng, and Atlan may be able to find some too with this, I think it's Infernum is the gun's name?
Yeah, that's the blue one. Is pushing out this control. Okay, Kongyue once again just starting up the objective. This time I think Impunity will be here in time to pick it up. TP comes through though, so they want to fight for it. And Mission has so much damage, and so does Atlan. I'm actually not sure who wins this fight.
Yeah, Atlan not got great guns though, and they will find a hook onto Lakai. Unstoppable Force will be used as a 3-man ult from the Moonlight Vigil comes through. It looks like at the moment it'll just be 1 for 0, and honestly, health bars on the side of Beyond quite high still, so Impunity at a very big disadvantage. Although, as I say that, Kino is quite low. Will they look for something here? 1116 will flash away as a Zia turret's used mid, so it looks like third Dragon going to the side of Beyond, and Impunity trying to pressure this Dragon.
And maybe instead can just play for towers. The top tier 1 is still up, and this mid tower is taking a lot of damage. Does go the way of Beyond Gaming, and it's crazy. 25 minutes in here, the gold is virtually even, right? It's like 100 gold difference. So both teams certainly have a big chance in this game, and I think scaling as well, very, very similar. Really will just come down from teamfight execution. Mission though, he might be in trouble.
Could be. Realm Warp not available though, so hard for Rise to close that gap at the moment. And you have to say, while team fighting could be the deciding factor in this game, even if Impunity start to pull ahead, if at any stage of this game Kongyue can steal away the Dragon, you feel like you just have to give the game to Beyond.
Yeah, the 4th Dragon, especially the Hex deck as well, very difficult to deal with. Even on the champ like the Kindred, right, can just apply it so easily and chase you down. Mission, looks like he's going to be going for the Void 3rd, so should have that in time for that 4th Dragon fight. Alan as well, now itemizing towards the LDR, going to make a big difference. The Kai on the Cassante has just been soaking up so much damage, which takes so long to die in the meantime. You know, Driver's kind of been taken out relatively quickly. It's just a lot of health right now. It doesn't have a whole lot of resistances, but they will soon be coming through.
Yeah, it really confuses me, this sort of Radiant Virtue on the Scion. I guess it gives your team a bit of extra health, but I feel like you could just tank forever if you have that Jug Show, where the given health is not worth as much as your ability to disrupt these team fights. Okay,
so Feng goes back towards the mid-wave. Is actually just going to try and farm even more. So really trying to pick up what is, I'm assuming, what do you think he picks up 3rd item here? I mean, it's going to be more damage, looks like.
Yeah, it'll be the LDR as well. He's just gone for the crit because it amplifies due to that Navori on his E, but I imagine it will be the crit, the LDR next as well for both AD carries.
Yeah, it must be, right? So much armor on the side. I think it was 225 last time we checked. Gold still extremely even. And Baron's up in 1.5 minutes, and Impunity definitely won't want to let Beyond just sneak this next one away. Although I don't think the last Baron really converted into a whole lot. It did kind of help them win that team fight. And now Mission, he's going to go back towards topside and grab that wave, which does mean... Well, actually, I was going to say, it does mean the mid-wave go the way of BYG, but it actually still goes to Impunity. So you're actually getting everything they want here. I guess did have Driver around, who will soon be forced to answer the bot wave. This is going to clear out the scuttle. Now I'm on 240 armor, as well as a lot of HP.
And Wukong too, obviously that armor passive is Lakai and Driver. I think nothing is to become of that. It'll just be a bit of a slap around.
Apparently lots of pings coming out on mid. Is another pause?
Yeah, Kongyue on 5 stacks we can see down there too, which I feel like isn't that much considering we are 28 minutes into the game. Although it is a lot harder to get those stacks in competitive than you do see traditionally in solo queue, but not sure. How do you feel about the Kindred so far?
I think it's looked pretty good. I think the Kindred ult hasn't really led to anything, but I think just the rest of the Kindred has looked good. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm liking the pick, especially because once your jungler kind of gets banned out like that and doesn't have many picks available, even if your jungler does averagely, I think you're kind of fine with it just because, well, we don't really have many options left. So there's 3, 1, and 2 in this game, and yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. I think it's also nice just to have that extra DPS for dealing with Driver, right? It's just another kind of extra DPS on your backline that can make the difference. With the Black Cleaver as well, can shred a lot of that armor for your other carries.
Yeah, it looks like he'll go Hex Drinker next too, so a bit of protection from Mission.
Hex Drinker is kind of weird. I feel like it's not really needed.
Maybe a Wit's End? Does Wit's End?
Yeah, I was thinking that, but doesn't build out a longsword, does it?
I don't think so either. No, that axe does that? The Hearthorn axe or...
Maybe, yeah. I actually can't even remember. I don't build that item very often. I guess, yeah, Wit's End would make more sense if he can build it out of that. Just a minute away on this dragon now, though. And Baron is up 5 more seconds. Beyond have great control around this, and with the Realm Warp, can always go immediately to it if they find something.
Yeah, Driver has to be careful, but you feel like if he gets engaged on, he'll be okay for a little bit, but Alan really far away. I'm not sure that Beyond know that, but definitely for the side of Impunity, you cannot fight without that guy.
Alan completes LDR, and it's actually Feng who goes for the BT instead of the LDR, so maybe just enough shred with the Black Cleaver that doesn't need it just yet. Having the BT does mean that you have a lot of extra staying power in those fights. Also very good up against the Azir, who's just, consistently poking you out.
That is true, but a lot of these fights have been happening around objectives like Baron and Dragon, and so you don't get as much use out of it there, where there aren't the minions to hit in between the trades, but we'll have to see here. Lakai is sort of going in. Driver will go in. Doesn't find anything yet. Alex finds 2 men at the back. He will go down, however, to Lakai. On the other side, we see 1116 going down. Nice flashes out of the carries from Impunity as Lakai is going all out onto mission. Will he be able to get... Yes, he gets Feng there, and Emperor's Divide to him back into Atlan, who will... Oh, well, sorry, actually, it is Mission who picks it up, I guess, with Leandri's there, and teamfight win for Impunity.
Both ADCs deal so much damage in this fight, 7,000, and I think Kongyue should be forced away from this 4th Dragon, although they don't have the smite, but you have to feel they can just zone him out if they play it well.
Yeah, I imagine Driver's going to go mark him, and Kongyue's not looking for it anyway, rather play safe, which I think is a smart decision.
Yeah, it is picked up. I kind of want to see what happened, because I want to see how Feng died. Felt like he definitely should have had a lot of impact in this fight. Initial engage on the Driver, I think, comes through. I actually think all started out relatively well here, but 116 got hooked on the side and taken out very, very early on. Feng as well. Looks like he overcommitted and then took so much damage from Atlan. Also wasted the cleanse. Oh, really nice, but actually just put himself in danger. I mean, tried to salvage the fight. I think 116 being hooked so early did actually change it. So credit to Nature who found that on the side. It kind of not saved the fight, but put it in a great spot for his team. And yeah, ADC DPS, certainly balanced.
To be fair, Adeline found a really nice flash away there from Kino's engage. And I don't know, we're seeing maybe a repeat of yesterday's Zaya versus Aphelios. I mean, that one went for like, what, 52 minutes, and we saw it really go the full distance. It was extremely exciting, and so far this game delivering very similarly.
Driver, he's maybe looking for something again.
Yeah, no flashes on anyone, really. I mean, 1116 does have his, as does Driver, but I don't feel like those are the most important.
Mission's even gone for the Medjais here with no flash. Really feeling like he can just... Ooh, hook comes through.
Kai hooked, getting a lot of damage. He will look like he goes down. Nice hook out of Lamb's Respite as Driver now tanking up the whole team. 4v5 now. Do Impunity, sorry, look towards this Baron. It's hard for you to walk in as Beyond. You still have Driver up. Alex and Driver both going to the same bush. Kongyue will get hit here. Is not going to get hooked, unfortunately. Realm Warp used, Cyclone to interrupt, and Atlan will catch up and provide the DPS needed.
Disaster for BYG, and this looks like should be Impunity's game to win. They will pick up the Baron here. Can Feng and Kino salvage anything off the back end? Maybe a mid-tier 2 if you really push for it. But that's such an important win here for Impunity, who find themselves with this Baron and are now going to be getting closer to those 4 items on the carries. And I think the DPS coming through is just insane. Likai, who is so tanky, just falls apart almost instantly under the sustained barrage from Azir and the Aphelios. It's kind of strange how the tanks can so easily become squishy once the kind of anti-tank items come through. Bang. He doesn't even have the LDR here, so it takes him a lot longer to kill that Scion. Like you said, a lot of these fights haven't really come down to the poke. It's really just been who can kill the enemy tank first, and Lakai has been kind of the weaker of the two. Sieging down mid now, not playing 2 lanes. Currently all 5-manning mid, which is kind of weird. Probably need to get someone on this bot wave. They have TP available on mission. Maybe just want to try and brute force down mid?
Doesn't look like it at the moment, but certainly is an interesting decision, especially when you have Scion who can take out a tower in such quick time. Rakan, however, looking for something on the side here, does take that Hextech gate. Nature is marking him. Looks like he did land the hook potentially, but Driver will get the demolish off, lands a slow onto Kongyue, but nothing will come yet, as slowly but surely Impunity pushing in towards this base.
Yeah, first inhibitor's taken down, but with no other waves to speak of, can they get anything else? They still have a minute and a half. They could maybe commit 5 members bot, so really trying to play this out as slowly as they possibly can. Just really respecting the engage that can come out from Kino's Rakan. I think just grouping up, taking the one hit. It looks like they're actually happy with that as well. They don't want to go for anything more. Instead, all resets come out. Just going to try and complete items ahead of what is going to be probably just Impunity's 3rd dragon. Don't think BYG can contest. And I think it's so hard now for 116 to really DPS. This is where it's very tough to be a Rise. Like, you kind of do have control of a lot of that early game, but well and truly outscaled is he in this mid lane. I think it's up to Feng to kind of 1v9, honestly. Even Kongyue, despite having the marks, doesn't have enough range, I feel like, to compete with a late game Aphelios Azir.
Yeah, and honestly, just not enough items yet. He doesn't quite have that LDR in. I mean, I feel like you need, like, that rapid fire often comes through on Kindred, which gives her so much power.
BYG, I think, can they contest? Doesn't feel like it. They're trying to trade on the mission top. He has the Medjais and a shutdown. If he dies here, it would be disastrous. Oh, I think he's actually going to walk up.
He does have flash up now, but Kongyue shows, so he'll know not to walk up anymore, as Alex does take bot tower. So it is traded 1-for-1 for now. Atlan starting Dragon solo.
It looks like Dragon will be picked up. Bot tier 2 went down as well. Atlan on now 5 out of his 6 items, extremely fed.
Yeah, but Feng got the same amount of items, so really, it's really coming down to what looks like Xayah versus Aphelios again.
I think Mission, as soon as he completes his Rabadons, will be able to add in so much extra DPS that 116 just cannot match. And I think he should definitely have it before the next Dragon or Baron. So it's going to be an extremely big pickup here for him. Can BYG find something before that happens? They're looking for it.
You're looking for Alex. And snare landed by 116. Alex will be going into Guardian Angel. Can this be salvaged? Nature goes wide on the hook. Ooh. Flash away. Fantastic work by Alex. That was a big flash.
Yeah, so ultimately it is just flashes traded. I'm not even sure who that's better for. I mean, I guess it's better for Beyond because they got the GA out ahead of this next Dragon. But now, you know, really nice by Impunity to avoid that window.
Kino uses quickness early. Doesn't actually hit Atlan, importantly. Moonlight Vigil comes out, but will not quite hit as Driver, unstoppable force in. Will find a knock-up here onto Feng. Feng kiting back. Lamb's Respite now used. Atlan untouched in the back right now. Will find a kill onto Rakan, and oh my goodness. I felt like they were so close for one of those Imperiums to just kill everyone, as Feng is dying here on the back.
Yeah, he's extremely low. Ooh.
Oh, does manage to kill Atlan. Now he's up against the raid boss. He's doing almost no damage, although when those feathers come through, it really puts out some pain. Yeah, Driver gets rooted.
They might be able to end, though. I mean, they've delayed the bases by a lot, and Driver can deny it more. TP's coming through. Okay, so it will just be one Nexus tower.
Plays it safe, but that is also massive. I mean, Feng does pick up a lot of gold there.
He also picks up 14,000 damage, which I think might have just been all onto Driver at the very end. Did take him out. Importantly, though, the shutdowns still remain on all the carries. So no carries actually went down.
And Kongyue in the bottom of our screen laughing, so he's in high spirits. I mean, if you're a Beyond fan, that's definitely what you want to see.
All flashes were used as well. I think the quickness just, used so early. I'm not sure if he actually could have done anything, though. Nature with a really nice flay, and then kind of just got chased down. I think, it feels like now, again, like once the quickness is used, that's all the threat gone. So it's so easy for Atlan and Mission just to DPS. The Realm Warp out was very clutch. It was a TP in from Rise, and then a Realm Warp out to kind of get the homies away. They did manage it, and Feng, very nice here to clean up Alex. It was extremely close. If Alex had the flash, would have been able to kill him and potentially end the game off it, but instead doesn't quite, and Driver, can't quite catch up to him. And Feng very, very happy about how that one went out. But now Baron's up, and Impunity is so scaled. Kino has a flank, but does not have the flash, is spotted out by Alex early.
Yeah, good job marking him. And look at that damage to champions, man. It's just one massive line for Zaya.
That roll seems weak. 2 more minutes though on the 4th Dragon, and Baron's already up. It goes down so quickly to either team. No flashes up, so Engage can be very deadly here as well. How much health does Driver have? It must be like 6,000 or something. I mean, the man just has health bar after health bar.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I mean, even Mission looks quite tanky at this stage. It's kind of crazy.
Baron is going to go down extremely fast. I think we'll die before BYG can do anything about it.
Yeah, it looks like Kino will be caught out and actually just gets absolutely demolished. Feng having to use Feather Work will get flayed out of that. Well, Emperor's divided out. Kongye doing what he can. Atlan sort of one hits him on the side, and 1116 will also be going down here. All out onto Mission, and wow, that's a really nice lantern, but looks like the game will be over. And I mean, that last team fight there was really just a whole bunch of teamwork, and Mission just on top, getting it done. 24 stacks on the Magi's, not quite 25, but we will see after a long game, Impunity picking it up.
Yeah, 40 minutes of gaming. Can he get the 25th stack off Lakai here? I think he will. So he does finish it fully stacked up on the Magi's. They do take out Beyond Gaming. They tie up the head-to-head 1-1 and pull ahead, 1 win ahead of them, right? So now, that's really interesting. If BYG managed to win their game tomorrow, you know, it could potentially be a tiebreaker between these two teams. I think really important that Impunity won that game, especially for kind of that 3rd, 4th spot. You know, DCG a little bit below them. I guess they're playing for the 4th spot. I'm not sure if they can catch up to Frank at this point. That's really nice.
Oh, we got that driver darts.
Oh my god, he just queued him.
Yeah.
Oh, and he ate him as well.
Oh my goodness, what else?
Holy.
I don't know
Is
what
he
this
gonna
last
ult him?
part is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He didn't ult him.
Just showing a bit of love.
Yeah, it looks like he got away. Oh, must have been on cooldown. But anyway, yeah, nice combat of driver there at the end. I think I want to say real quick, underrated MVP option for this game, Nature on Thresh. I think really nice lanterns, really nice hooks. I feel like it probably will just go over to maybe Mission or Atlan because they were so strong on those carries.